What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we got a fun one for you. Today, we're installing the Brannon King exhaust on the Ryker 600. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being here. Give me some love. I hope to get to at least 100 subscribers by the end of next month. It's a crazy goal, I know, but I know we can reach it. Thanks for your support. Guys, I don't have any fancy B-roll for you today. This is just a straightforward install and what I think of the exhaust. I hope you guys enjoy. I don't know about you guys. We're gonna start with the unboxing of the Brannon King exhaust. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited. Here we go. All right, guys, so what this thing has is a whole, it's packed great. The packaging on this is fantastic. You got a bunch of little stuffings over here. The exhaust itself is packed into a little box with more stuffing in the side. He even gives you a bracelet, a spring puller, and some disclaimers. So no matter what kind of shipping events that you go through, this thing will be safe. Excuse me for a second. There we go. Oh my God, dude. This thing is so awesome looking. Oh yeah, dude. Look at that. I went with the option C. He's got plenty of different options for these. I loved the C, and I am not regretting it. Oh my gosh. Holy. I mean, look at that. That's just nuts. So we've got the protective coating on this side right here, up onto the top, so that way it kind of reduces the heat factor, but damn, that's insane. All right, so what we're gonna do, guys, is test out the stock exhaust. Remember, this is a 600, not a 900, so this is how it sounds with stock. Stock sound. All right, so what you guys need for this project is a 5/8 socket. Hopefully it'll zoom in. All right. And the provided spring puller. Bam. Now, if you guys have ramps for your bike, please ramp the bike up. It's much, much easier doing it that way. It would save you a lot of hassle. I did mine on flat ground, which was a little bit more difficult. As well, if you're doing this alone and you're trying to get the exhaust off or pull it up to screw it in, take some old shirts, some old towels, and put it under so it doesn't drop down to the ground. Or if you're putting the new one on, put those underneath so it lifts it up to the right place. All right, so to begin the removal of the stock exhaust, you want to locate the springs that attach the other parts of the pipes to the exhaust, and those will be located right there. There's one on each side that you need to pull off with the spring puller. And then after you guys have the springs off, there's a bolt right under the seat connecting the exhaust to the rest of the bike. That goes next. All right, so the springs are kind of hard to get off depending on how broken your springs are. So you take your puller and your spring's gonna be set like this on either side of the pipes. And you just take it, get it in there like that, so your pulley's like this. And you just find a nice vantage point to pull and expand the spring, and then it'll just come right off. All right, so another thing to keep in mind when you're trying to get the springs off is if you need to work your hand around somewhere else, but you need this to stay on the spring, just hook it on the spring and just let it dangle. Just like that, so that way you can just come back to where you were and just pull it. So to get a better angle on the springs, what I did was I was on the left side of the bike. I kind of laid down a little bit like this. I took the puller, hooked it onto the spring, and my arm was basically right along the bike line on the underside, and I just pulled it as hard as I could until it came off, and you'll feel it drop off. All right, next thing you want to do is locate your bolt. Use your 5/8 socket and just go to town. Make sure you cover the rest of your bike so you're not scratching up anything, because no one wants to scratch their bike. Okay, so now that the exhaust is off, this is what your bolt should look like. You've got a washer that goes on the bolt like this and just goes straight into the top like that. I'll show you the stock exhaust. Oh, man. Oh my God. When they said this thing weighs a lot, it does weigh a little bit. All right, so bring in the Brannon King exhaust over here. You want to put this in. There is a hole right there that you have to line up with the hole right here. So I'm going to use some extra hands behind the camera to help get this in place, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. We're going to screw it down and make sure it's good, and yeah. As well, when you're putting the bolt in, make sure you're lining this up properly with the other part of the exhaust, because you don't want that to be mismatched and out of line. Make sure it's aligned. So guys, when you're putting on the exhaust, please do the springs first. What I did, I tried to screw in the exhaust on the top and then do the springs. Terrible idea. I couldn't get anything to fit right. Do the springs first and then screw it in. It'll make your life 10 times more easy. Now, as far as the other bolts and other parts that you get with the kit in the bottom of the box, what I did, I kind of copied the factory setup. So the factory setup was the bolt, and it had the flat washer on, like, built into it, and then there was like that safety locking washer that goes on the bottom, like right underneath, and then you screw it in. What I did was, since there's an extra piece in the bag that you get, I just did the bolt, the flat washer that you get, and then the safety washer, and then screw it in. All right, now that it's on, we're gonna take this thing for a test. Hey! When I say this, guys, I 100% mean it. The videos do not do this exhaust justice. You have to get it in person. You have to listen to it in person, because it growls, man. It sounds so incredibly fantastic. Videos, they don't do it. All right, guys, so that's the install. The springs were a little hard to get back on, but just keep working at it. Don't forget, guys, he sends you another bolt and washer and a little other part of the washer. So don't get that lost in the box, because it was lost in the box. So make sure you look for that. It does replace the factory bolt, but man, does it sound insane when it goes on. I've no words. Brannon, you're doing great things, man. If you want a nice exhaust like this, contact Brannon King on Facebook. He's got plenty of options for you. I can put a picture of all the options in the corner of the video. Check those out. Man, his exhaust is $300 shipped. At least that's what I got it for. He does send you a bunch of accessories, as I said before, but so many options, and it sounds fantastic. Don't hesitate. I have no words. I'm extremely satisfied for what Brannon King has to offer. I'd say it's one of the best in the industry, aside from Trial, which sounds a lot quieter than the Brannon King exhaust, but Trial does allow for some performance upgrades as well. Feel free to check Trial out, but my preferred one is Brannon King. You are the man. All right, guys, so that's it. If you guys have comments, questions, drop them in the comments below. Feel free to answer them as quick as I can. But until next time, guys, see ya.